Hello and welcome back to another video on the Land Cruiser FZJ80 1FZFE update. This is a quick update for you guys. I haven't updated you guys on what we did last video. We had the cylinder head back from the machine shop, turned out great. I'm currently waiting on head gasket parts, but then during that time I decided that hey, while I'm here I might as well do it. So we're tackling the timing chain. We're gonna install a new timing chain and all that 9-yard. So last couple days, or yesterday and today, I went ahead and removed the timing cover already. So I'm just gonna give you guys a quick rough down of how I did it. You have to unbolt the one FZFE has 2 oil pan. The lower oil pan is the black one, which is the small one. That one's easy to remove. You can just unbolt the 10mm bolts that comes out. And then the next big one, the upper oil pan, which is the big one, it goes all the way from the engine block to the front of the engine, and you have to remove that oil pan in order to remove the timing cover. So you unbolt all that, and then there's a few bolts that goes from the bell housing to the oil pan too. I think there's like 3 on each side. So go ahead and remove that and then unbolt it, and then you have to lift. There's not enough clearance because this bar right here is blocking it, so you have to unbolt the nut behind the motor mounts. Under the motor mounts, you just unbolt both of the nuts, one on each side. And then what I did was I put the crank pulley back on, and I removed my steering damper, and I put a piece of block of wood long high enough, and I jacked it from the pulley. I lifted about 2 inches, like 2 or 3 inches is all you need. Just about 2 inches, 2.5 inches is about all you need. And once you lift your engine up, that upper oil pan will come out nice. Now keep in mind that my vehicle don't have the front sway bar. I deleted that already, so if you have the sway bar, you might have to remove that first. And also I did went ahead and remove my front dry line. I unbolted the front of the dry line from the dry line to the pinion only, and then you can see right there it's just bungee cord off to the frame for now. Oh, and also I went down under, I checked all the rod bearing caps. They're all nice and torqued to spec, so I'm not gonna mess with it. After that's done, you can pop the cover of the timing belt, and I'm glad I did it because I feel like the chain was pretty much stretched. All the tooth on the timing sprocket was still decent. It wasn't chipped off or anything, but I got all that removed. And then this is your can sprocket right here. This is what your crank sprocket sensor sense. Then there's a gear behind here that drive this gear, and then drive this gear, which is your power steering, like that. And I'll go ahead and remove all that once I'm in my cleaning process. So right now, we're gonna have to order some timing belt or timing kit, and I'm just gonna go with all Toyota. It's like another 200 bucks now. We're in this engine this deep that it's just best to do it. I was debating on replacing my engine mounts. The engine mounts are like 60 bucks each OEM, but I think I'm just gonna hold off on it. I think my engine mounts are still pretty good. It wasn't shaking, it wasn't vibrating, and they look like they're still in good condition, so I think they've been swapped out already. So we're just gonna do that. So we're gonna do head gasket, all new timing chain, water pump, all new seals, everything. Reseal the oil pan. The oil pan is kind of the upper one is kind of a pain because it's just big and awkward. So hopefully when I put the black RTV on it, I can push it up there and then bolt that in. But that's an update for you guys. Timing chain, head gasket, the whole 9-yard. Like I said, if you're gonna go this deep into what I'm doing, and if you have the access to pull your engine out, you might as well just pull it. Like right now, I just don't have the space here, but if I did have the space, all I have to do now is really release the rest of the bell housing bolts, and this motor will just come out right now. So I'll show you guys some of the other stuff. Let's go inside and show you guys the oil pan. This oil pan is the lower oil pan. This is the one that's most at the bottom. So I took this one out. It was super dirty, super filthy. I went ahead and degreased it, cleaned it, and then I took my brass wheel wire brush and brushed all the crap, all the dirt and stuff off. So this is what it looks like. And use 10mm bolts. So make sure it's nice and clean. Make sure the sealing surface is nice and clean, and we're gonna use black RTV. You can use black RTV or Toyota Foreman place gasket. So that's the first, the most lower oil pan. And then for the upper oil pan, it's this big guy here. You can see how big it is. It has the pickup too as well. So this is pretty much like half of, almost half of it. So this is what it looks like. Let me show you guys here. So this arch right here, this arch at the end is called the upper pan arch. And sometimes you leak oil right there, and you might think that you have a rear main seal leak, but it's usually this leak right here. So we're gonna replace all the gasket, and it looks like this one has been open ready because they used some gray RTV. You don't want to use gray RTV, you want to use black RTV, high temp, oil resistant. So this is what it looks like inside. I went ahead and degreased it and washed it a little bit, but I didn't get to pressure wash it because my pressure washer is down for the moment. So I want to show you guys all the nuts and bolts. So on the timing chain cover, there's two studs that come down here. So the studs on the timing cover, let me show you guys. So this is the timing cover. So these two studs go in here. And that's the reason why you can't remove the timing cover unless you remove this. On the 22RE, it's the other way around. You have bolts that go from the bottom into the timing cover. So on the 22RE, you can remove the timing cover without dropping the pan. That's an option. But on the 1FZE, you have to remove this first. So you have those two studs. You have one in here. This was the last one that I didn't see. I was prying it off and it wouldn't come off. And then I found out that there was one more bolt right here. You have one bolt here, one down there, one down there, all right here. These are all accessible. And then on the bell housing, on your bell housing, you have two main bolts on each side. These are 17, so 17, 17. And then you have a 14 right here, 14 right here, and then bell housing as well. Bell housing, bell housing, bell housing, bell housing. So you have 3 bell housing bolts that are 17 on each side. So make sure you take those out. So you have the 14s, and then you have 14s, 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 14. This is the reason why you have to remove that lower oil pan, because if you don't remove that lower oil pan, you can't get these bolts out. So that's the reason why you have to take that lower oil pan first. Remove these 4 14s in here, and then that's good. And then on this side, you go back and do 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, and that's it. And then you also have to remove your dipstick. Your dipstick is also mounted on that. And then you also have to remove your where is it at? On this side, my hands are dirty. I'm like clean right now. I just took a shower from doing all this. You also have to remove your oil float. This is your oil float right here. And then this right here is your oil dipstick. This bolt right here is the second bolt for your oil dipstick. You got one here and then one up on the engine block. And then you got to remove everything that's on here. So we're going to go and degrease this. And I'm going to pressure wash it once I get my pressure washer fixed. Because I want all this stuff clean. You want everything clean when you do this. So that's the lower oil pan. Remove these bell housing bolts. Make sure you do that. And then let me show you the timing chain cover. On the timing chain cover is like this. This is what it looks like. The water pump. And then you have bolt, 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 stud, stud, and I think there's another bolt right here. No, there's no bolt. This is the AC one. Let's go to the AC. And then one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. If you're removing the timing cover, you don't need to remove your oil pan, your oil pump seal. I remove my oil pump seal first. But when you remove this, you can install your oil pump seal. So when it's time to install this back, you want to make sure you do your oil pump seal first, and then you can put the timing cover on it. So I'll probably do that first because I can lay this flat. So you want to do that, and then there's a seal that goes here, O-ring goes here, and then inside the timing cover, there's an O-ring that goes here. This is for the coolant, and then there's another O-ring that goes here, which is for your oil. And you want to make sure you get those replaced too. And then on the bottom of the oil, there's a square O-ring. And you want to get a replacement for that too. And then obviously you want to do your front main seal. This is where your front crank main seal goes. And just make sure this stuff is all clean. We're gonna clean it, degrease it, and then after that we're gonna wire brush it. And then you also have a gear. There's a gear in here. This is the oil pump gear. This is what it looks like. This goes in here like that. And this gear teeth is the one that it's driven by that gear that I showed you guys on the engine, in the engine bay. So it goes in like that. So when this is all clean, you can put this in there, put your oil pump seal, and then put your oil pump cover. So right now, this right here is all clean already. I wiped it down, brake clean apart it, and I still have to clean this stuff right here. And here's a look at the timing chain and the timing chain guide. This is the sprockets. Chain's pretty dirty. Can't really tell what brand this is. I'm assuming this has been replaced already. Who knows? And again, I feel like the chain has been stretched out. Sprocket's still in good shape. All the tooth are there, nothing's missing. And you can see the guide right here. This is the guide. This is the driver's side. You can see it's starting to crack a little bit. So it's definitely a good time to replace it now. I'm glad I'm doing it actually. Because I know if I don't do this, and then later down the road, if I want to do this again, I gotta tear down everything. And this is the guide right here. This is the passenger guide. This is what the cam chain tensioner guide on. So your tensioner will go right here, and then it'll push the chain, keep it tight. So I think this is aftermarket. Who knows? But like I said, guys, we're gonna go ahead and do the whole 9 yard, replace the timing chain, new head, gasket, all that fun stuff while we're here. And I'll probably just keep this for spare, put this in the spare box. You know, last resort if you have to reuse it. But this stuff here we're not gonna reuse. I'm just gonna hold on to these parts for now, and then once I get the new one, I can do a comparison and show you guys the comparison, new and old. Well, there you have it, guys. Quick update on the head gasket overhaul, which turned out to be a half engine overhaul. So right now, it's just a matter of cleaning parts, ordering parts, and waiting for parts to arrive. I'm estimating we're going to be maybe 2.5 weeks out until we get this up and running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the bottom of the block, get all that nice and clean, remove all that old gasket, get the oil pan cleaned up, get the front of the timing chain where the timing block, the timing cover's gonna go on, get that cleaned up. Once I get all that cleaned up, and if we're still waiting on parts, then I'm gonna go ahead and start my other job, which is doing the front axle rebuild because the oil on the axle seal is leaking. And I'll keep you guys updated. It's probably gonna be a while before we get another update video. Like I said, just waiting for parts. But right now, I can't really do too much. A lot of the parts is in my vehicle right now. All these spark plug wires. I still got to do, I still have to clean the throttle body, but that's last minute stuff. I can do that. And I also decided that I might be getting me a new radiator. I was thinking about going with Denso, which was like $300 on Amazon. But I think I'm just going to go with one on AutoZone, because AutoZone has a lifetime warranty, and their warranty is really good. And also I have had good experience with their radiator. I haven't had any leaks or anything like that, and it's a bit cheaper, like $60-$70 cheaper, and it's a lifetime warranty. So if something ever happens, I can just get a new one and swap it out. So I'll keep you guys updated in our next video. If you guys want to stay up to date, make sure you guys follow my Instagram. I'll keep you guys posted, updated on my stories when I'm working on my truck and all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.